Today on Exploring Scotland's History, we are on a historic boat ride with the PS Waverley. We booked onto the Waverley cruise again, this time from Oban to Coll. Despite evidence of human habitation since Mesolithic times, Oban is a relatively young town by Scotland's standards. Before the 19th century, there were very few people living and working around this bay. What we see today really sprang up around the distillery, founded in 1794. In the late 1800s, there was an attempt to turn Oban into a spa town, a popular choice in Victorian times. Unfortunately, poor business practices and escalating costs ensured that this was never completed. I'll put a link to the video I made on the hydro here and at the end of the video. Oban came into its own in World War II as a base for the Battle of the Atlantic. Today, it's a popular tourist spot just like in the Victorian era. On our way out of the bay, we pass the small ruinous castle of Dunolly. It's still the seat of the Clan MacDougall, although like most castles, it was forfeited to the Campbells for a time. As we head towards Tobermory on the Isle of Mull, a much more impressive pile comes into view, Duart Castle. A traditional seat of Clan Maclean, the Macleans were known for their fighting ability over the centuries. The castle was ruinous in 1910 when Sir Fitzroy Maclean, the 26th chief, purchased it. As you can see, an amazing job has been done to get this edifice to the stage it looks today. Before long, we were pulling into the colourful Tobermory. I'll put a link to my visit to this picturesque wee place here and at the end of the video. A bit of toing and froing of passengers and we were on our way towards Coll. On our travels, there were great views of the Ardnamurchan Peninsula, whose lighthouse, incidentally, is the most westerly point on the British coastline. We had great views of the Treshnish Isles from a distance too. I'll put a link here to our previous Waverley trip where we visit the coastlines of the Treshnish. It will give you the story of the Waverley too. Coll came into sight at last. A small and quite flat island, riddled with fairy hills apparently. Local tales speak of the sound of grinding corn and singing emanating from them. Historically, Coll was part of the Kingdom of Dalriata and the Kingdom of the Isles. We're back again with the Macleans, who constructed the old Brechacha Castle, a tower house on the island in the 15th century. It had its own glastic who may have helped ready the castle for guests, but if you were a stranger who left your room, the glastic ensured you wouldn't find your bed again. The newer castle, or house, was constructed in the mid-18th century. Johnson and Boswell stayed here on their tour of the Hebrides. Johnson, amazingly, had nothing scathing to say for once. Whilst we turned in the Gunna Sound, we glimpsed the beautiful beaches of Tiree. On our return to pick up folk on call, I had a chat with the guys in the engine room. They told me that call is quite an awkward stop for them, as it is in effect a dead end. The engines of the Waverley had to be kept idling to ensure she stayed close to the mooring. We gingerly reversed away to pick up folk in Tobermory and head back to Oban. The sun came out for our return journey. We also passed the remains of our Tornish castle, built by Clan Donald, but the often mentioned MacLeans held it for a time too. It's thought it was abandoned at the end of the 17th century. Back into Oban, tired, windswept, but appreciative of our day. A great day out. We spent a lot of time chatting to Kirsten and Berthold from Germany, amongst others. I think my Waverley trips will become a regular thing. I met so many people, some for the first time and others were reacquaintances. The atmosphere on board is great, the staff are helpful and passionate and mainly volunteers. But for now, it's goodbye to the Waverley. If you enjoyed the video, please like and share and leave a comment. It really helps the channel grow. Until next time, thanks for watching Exploring Scotland's History.